This is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, family-owned and operated elevator maintenance and repair company. We'll provide you with the best service possible with a 1-hour response time for any trouble calls you may have. We also perform all Category 1 and 5 tests that are required in New York and clear any existing violations so your elevators are safe and up to code. Call 212-279-0700. 212-279-0700.
Hey everybody, welcome. This Bungalow Bar open on Beach 92nd Street. Come down and have a drink, a dinner, sunset. Bungalow Bar has a couple of special menus out now available. They're open daily, so come down and visit the Bungalow Bar on 92nd Street in Rockaway Beach. Proud supporters of Buck the System. We appreciate that. So go down there and have a drink and support a local restaurant and restaurant owners at the Bungalow Bar on 92nd Street.
When the cameras aren't rolling and the spotlight is off, what are your favorite celebs really like? This is Buck the System, the podcast that peeks behind the curtain, under the covers, and brings you along as host Buck Gritano exposes real reality. We started with the captains of the smash hit TV show Wicked Tuna. How cool is that? And every time we buck the system, we have an awesome time doing it. So now, let's have some fun. You ready? Buckle up and let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome to Buck the System. Buck Gritano back on this Tuesday night. Every Tuesday, Thursday night we'll be doing a show on Facebook Live. The guests have been getting better and better. Thank you to the sponsorship we have of Big New. Look, I'm stuttering. Look at it. Got somebody cool on today. But Big Apple Elevator for supporting the show. Buck the System, I appreciate that. Bungalow Bar, Fat Tuna from the show Wicked Tuna, had them guys on, pretty cool guys, showing their love and support with Buck the System. But today, I'm happy to bring in Buck and Fox. We host the show, but got me this guest, and I'm really, really cool, interesting dude. Got a chance to see him when I was a young kid, man, 18, 17, going to places like Castle Heights, Crocodile Club. And he played it was a band called Mindset. And I was like, God, these guys are like off the wall. The third song on the 7-inch was the Mindset. And that was like, saw it in person. And before the show, we talked about a kid. He was just like kick and flip and kick. And you said that he's not with us no more. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, little Greg.
Wow, what a fan of you guys. You guys had that nice metal. It was a fun time for me, honestly, as a hardcore fan, I guess. Not in the industry, but let's welcome in. You want to welcome in your friend because you said you're going to do it for me today. Guys, I want to get you talking.
All right, we welcome Lorenzo Antonucci to the show. He's got a lot of great things coming up, man. Great things.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me, guys.
Nah, it's awesome. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I see that you're actually not really in the music scene over the last 10 years. You toured worldwide with the metal band, hardcore / whatever you want to call them, Sworn Enemy, which was probably a nice ride for you coming from clubs in Bayside, Long Island, CVs, and all these other places. Now you're playing arenas, festivals, and you know, made it for guys, especially in that kind of scene. Very few and far made it to what you did, man. So
yeah.
How first of all, man, thank you for coming on. But where did that all start with? You know, Lorenzo, where did that start musically wise?
You start with a desire and a willing to never let no get in your way. And, you know, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be in Metallica or Anthrax, you know, or something like that, Slayer, you know. So when, you know, me and Sal started Sworn Enemy or started Mindset or whatever it was a few of us, me, Mike, and Sal or whatever. Like, it formed from different bands. It started in 93. I joined a band called Corruption. That was Sal, Palmer, and this kid Richie, and this kid Zoli on drums. And I joined the band. I tried out for them. And then we were practicing on 88th Street or 89th Street in Jamaica Avenue at Zoli's house. And then we came Downfall, and then It just we broke up and then started Mindset pretty much without, with some members without, and bringing in new guys or previous guys from the band before or whatever, and then we signed to Stillborn with Jamie Josta from Hatebreed as Mindset, and he was like, let's not use the name Mindset. We got to change the name because there's another Mindset, and we don't want to get a lawsuit from Philly. Like, it was a punk band, and we were like, yo, we never heard of them, but fuck, what the fuck are we gonna do? Cut to, we changed it, and he was like, I got a name, and we were like, what is it? And he was like, Sworn Enemy, and we were like, oh, that shit's whack. We didn't like it. We were like, fuck, man, we're Mindset, we just like. Sworn Enemy is a fucking fantastic name, now that we think about it. Obviously, it took some processing before we actually got to, change it. And then we put out, and then he was like, well, if you guys want to put out your 6-song EP, you're going to have to change the name because I don't want to get, myself and put myself in harm's way. So we did it. And then that was the beginning. And then we started to really start playing clubs and, started playing, Hatebreed would throw us on some Weekend Warrior stuff, and we would go to play Florida with them. We started playing with E-Town more, even though we played with E-Town, in Jersey as Mindset. Kevin Scandato was our manager at the time before Jamie. Shout out to Kevin. He was one of the early believers. And he owned Castle Heights, or he ran Castle Heights. He was the promoter there with him and John the Doorman. Shout out to John the Doorman. That's the early believers, man. That was the beginning of the journey, and that was 1997, 1998. Of that journey, I mean, shit, me and Sal were doing it, since '93.
Yeah,
fucking,
so you get to that point where you guys are finally changing the name, have the 6 songs and stuff like that. You're getting ready to set out a tour. What was that like for you guys as being a local band and then going on national stages and playing in front of that's size audiences and stuff?
It was, it gradually happened, but it was always when is it gonna really happen? Was kind of my mentality. Kind of going through that again right now, but
we all go through that, man. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the way we did it was Jamie was a big believer in us, and I think our first tour was with DRI or Death Threat. No, we did a week tour with Death Threat. That was our first 10 days. Holy shit! And we did it in Mike Raff's caravan. I remember it was fucking miserable.
Mike
Raff. It was not. I mean, it wasn't miserable. It was actually fucking awesome because it was the first time we was on tour, so we weren't bummed out. We threw a bed in the back of the fucking van, and
it's got to be kind of exciting, but right, man.
It was great. It was great. I mean, miserable. Was fucking 5 tours in, then doing it in the same van or same fucking scenario, breaking down, fucking fighting in the van, all kinds of shit that happens on the road. That's when you get the taste of just not fun it is. But yeah, then we started to elevate, write better music. Jamie started producing us, started to shift our music into more structured formats where we could play music that had more of a structure, where there was a verse, a chorus, an intro, verse, chorus, that. The structure was right. And we started to get more popular, and we were I don't know if we weren't the first, but I think we were the first to do Ozfest, a major tour.
A big thing.
In 2003, but we weren't the first. We were on Elektra Records. I think we were the first hardcore band to ever be, on a major Elektra. But I think H2O and Sick of It All did it before us, and Hatebreed. But obviously Jamie got us on Elektra, and they were on Universal. So we were the first. I would say 3 hardcore bands from Queens made it on a major. Unless Murphy's Law made it on a major too, then that's 4. I don't think Murphy's Law was ever on a major label, but I know H2O, us, and Sick of It All were definitely on majors, which is fucking awesome.
Now, was the scene at the time happy for you guys as getting the notoriety that you have now when you start touring, or considered sell out, or I don't know what they considered back then. But what was that feeling you got when you guys started touring?
We were considered sellouts when we started to play with when we were doing like Slipknot or Slayer, or like our music was a little more metal, sounding more like Slayer instead of fucking fast hardcore riffs with a breakdown, but we would never feel that in the scene. Kids weren't saying, "Oh, you guys are sellouts." They would never really give us that flack. It was never like, I didn't feel it, even though I knew that people would talk shit. I mean, it was message boards back then, and you could see people talk shit anyway. I mean, that's just the culture of a lot of these, internet fucking gangsters. But it was okay. It was fine because, we wanted to, evolution had it that we were going to become better and better every album, or we wanted to just become more musically inclined because, we weren't all just listening to, hardcore all day. You know what I mean? We had a lot of metal in our life. You know what I mean? I grew up listening to, Slayer and Metallica, and, then I was introduced to hardcore there's two different ways that I got introduced to hardcore. So one is the coolest story. Both of them are great stories, but one is the one that's pretty much the reality of when I really knew that I became a hardcore kid. Was I was going to school in the Lower East Side, and I was listening to the Biohazard, Maze and Urban Discipline on one side of the cassette tape, and then Blood, Sweat, No Tears on the other side of the cassette tape. And that's what I was listening to back and forth on the J train from my house, from 104th Street, Jamaica Avenue, to LES, to Sewer High, where I was going to high school. It wasn't high school. I didn't go to high school, but that was a fucking degenerate school. We were all retards. We didn't want to go to school, so that was where they sent you. And I went there, fucking, I think 91 or 92, maybe 91 or 92, and I was in class with Todd from Warzone.
Wow.
Freddie Madball, and the kid, I think Dave from Out of Line was in our class.
Oh, I'd love to be a fly on the wall of that class, man. That was a classic, bro.
And then Harold from Kids, the skater, the kid that passed away, he was in our class. My boy Clyde, who actually introduced me to the school. It was the 600 school. I don't know what they called it, but it was us for us. We were half morons. You know what I mean? So we didn't want to go to work. We didn't want to.
And just hearing those names, and I mean, I remember, the way you guys were back in the day, and it was a tough crowd, And imagining all those people in the same classroom together, that teacher must have had hell, man. It must have been horrible.
Yeah, his name was Joe. He was like a big biker dude with tattoos. I remember vaguely. I mean, this is 30 years ago almost. And
wow.
And Freddie was listening to his Walkman, and I was listening to my Walkman, and he was listening. And you could have Walkmans in the class. Yeah. You could call it Joe, the teacher, by the first name. You didn't have to say Mr. Saldano, or you had to just call him Joe or whatever the fuck his name was. And pretty much, Freddie was. He was asking me what I was listening to. I asked him, and he put it on my head. He put his headphones, and he was listening to Colossal Man Was a Skinhead. And he's like, "This is my band, Madball." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Because my boy Clyde, one of my best friends, from when we were kids, he was like, "Yo, this guy's brother's in Agnostic Front," and I was like, "Word!" I didn't know. We were kids. We were 14 years old.
Yeah, I know.
Kids.
I've been there, man. I've been at that point where they're naming bands, and I'm like, yeah, I know, just to be cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So then, Freddie just got, I think, Madball tattooed here. He just got it done, and I was like, and I had like one tattoo, and I was like, yo, that's fucking sick. And I was looked up to Freddie because he was older, and he was, like more hip because he was in the scene already. He was already groomed. He was already singing in Agnostic Front as a kid. So, we talk about those stories, now, like it was fucking 30 years ago. But these are cool things that we can talk about 20 years from now. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
memories, man. You put a
it's
lot.
something else that or some cool stuff. So yeah, I definitely like to say that I owe my introduction to hardcore to Freddie Madball.
Wow.
Like, and which is kind of iconic, you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
really, because to me, Biohazard and Sick of It All was like you knew they were a different style because they had this urban flavor to them, but it was like not like I was like, oh my god, this is New York hardcore. Like I didn't know. I was just a kid, fucking 14, listening to, I was playing fucking my guitar and learning these riffs, and then when Freddie was like, "This is hardcore," and he put it on. I remember vividly. I'm sitting here, he's sitting right here, like we're in a classroom together, like, and it was like an L-shaped fucking desk, and he was sitting right here, right next to me, and he was like, "Yo, put this on." And he put it on my fucking head, dude. It was crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's not many memories that you can really, remember 30 years ago that weren't, something. I guess because it was a pivotal moment in my life.
And how long was that transition from when you guys changed the mindset name to Sworn Enemy to when things really started taking off for you guys? I mean, like we were saying before, you guys were playing, with Ozzy and and Ozfest, and you guys was Slayer. I mean, people that you listened to. So I mean, you guys really picked up ground really fast and became pretty big quick.
Well, I think it may seem like that sometimes, but I mean, it didn't feel like that because, I say to people who, kind of complain about the journey, and that's like artists, and I've been fucking grinding my entire life. And when we started in '93, or when I just say when I met with Sal, which Palmer introduced me to Sal, but it was Palmer's band too. Was Palmer in the band? Yeah, Palmer was in the band. Yeah, of course. Palmer was in Corruption. Yeah. So Palmer introduced me to him. I say from 1993, it was the end of '93, but 1993 to fucking 2003, it took us 10 years to get signed to a major.
Wow. Wow.
It took us 10 years. It wasn't like it happened overnight.
Right.
So.
Because you're going through it. That's why, you're going through that life. For us, listening to you guys, it felt like it was pretty quick. That's what Brian's trying to say, and
it makes sense.
I mean, New York hardcore has such a monster following. I mean, I've been in Vegas, walk into a bathroom and I see the logo, the NYHC, with the X, and it's amazing how big that whole thing was. You know what I mean? And
It's a fantastic family, you know what I mean?
Really?
Even though it's dysfunctional and people have their problems and blah, 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 but it's a beautiful family. It's a beautiful upbringing. And you learn a lot from being a hardcore kid, when you don't got nothing.
Who was your favorite act to follow when you were out there? Like, whether even just somebody that you got to headline for, like who did you look forward to playing with the most?
I mean, fuck, man.
Was there that one moment where you were just like, holy shit, we're opening for, or we're doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, Slayer.
Okay.
Slayer was that, we gradually started playing with Hatebreed all the time. So, they weren't the Hatebreed that we know now, or the Hatebreed we knew 10, 15 years ago, where they were fucking dominating the world. They were still on the come up, and they were all boys. You know what I mean? Like I remember them playing fucking Cheers on Liberty Avenue, bro. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Hatebreed played fucking Cheers, Liberty Avenue, bro. They got paid $50.
Holy
True
shit.
story.
Wow.
96. So that being said, my favorite bands, playing with the Cro-Mags, I think when we played with them, but it was I don't know what lineup it was, but it was exciting just to be sharing the stage with them. Slayer, Hatebreed, Madball, I remember when we played VOD one time in Pennsylvania, and it wasn't that great of a show. You know what I mean? I remember we were excited. We're like, yo, we're playing with VOD and Candiria, but it was kind of a busted show. It was whack. It didn't work.
I think
us Candiria and VOD, and it wasn't really that many people. It was kind of weird.
Wow.
I mean, I remember vaguely, bro. I mean, shit.
I remember
when it was awesome to open up for fucking 25 to Life when we were playing with 25 before fucking Rick went nuts and became who he is now. But, you know.
Yo, I heard that he broke out and ran. It was gone. People like, ready to go, something like that. But when Candiria did the song with Mark from Shutdown, man, I forgot the name of it. Oh, that was fucking come on, man. I love it when he's Mark and he's coming in. Shutdown. They had the best drop down. Oh, they were great, man. I miss them
Mark.
days.
I talk to Mark here and there, man. We're on Instagram. We follow each other, man. It's good to see him.
And then the other band was funny. It was his brother was an Ensign, right?
Inhuman.
That was another great band too, man. Wow, those were good times then, man.
It's crazy. It's fucking great, and it's good to see them all again. You know, come up and you bump heads with all these guys, and you see them. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like you see these guys, and 10 years later, if it's like seeing you guys, you know what I mean? It's like fucking, like nothing changes. You know what I mean? Sure. We still have the same love for the same music, and we still, I fucking listen to Madball, I listen to fucking Cro-Mags, I listen to Sworn Enemy, I listen to the new one.
What Cro-Mags you listen to first, man?
Listen, I love Age of Quarrel, but I love Best Wishes and Alpha Omega. My first Cro-Mags record was Alpha Omega because I was too young.
When you turned Best Wishes on for the first time, I was like, what the hell is this? It's incredible.
Yeah, it reminded me of Metallica.
I was like, what the
hell? I was like, yo, this is like fucking Metallica. I remember.
And then you get to know. You get to know them guys. Did you get to know Joe? That was John Joseph. What's his name?
John Joseph. Yeah.
You got to know him, because he's an interesting cat, man. Definitely, I love the one day.
An inspirational character too. He's an inspirational man. Because
feeding the poor. Feeds the poor, man. You never think in triathlons and stuff like that. An intelligent dude. When I saw him on Joe Rogan for the first time, I'm like, I never met him, so I was like, wow, this guy's intrigued. Then he brought up a story about growing up in Rockaway, in St. John's, the home. And I'm like, wow, man, he had a effed up, tough life. And to come out of it like he did, God bless him, man. It's a story about it, man. Now, you make it, you're on tour, and 10 years of touring. When was it like, I got to do something different, or I don't know what happened. I got to get out of this and, maybe move towards something new?
Gradually started to see, less and less people were giving a fuck about Sworn Enemy, it was tough to swallow, and every record would sell less and less, and I was just like, I didn't see myself doing it anymore, as I wanted something bigger. I wanted something more, and it took me 10 years to start figuring out what I wanted to do now. In the last 5 years, I've been doing the acting thing, but we'll get to that after. But at the end of the day, I just knew that Sworn Enemy was done for me.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the love for it anymore.
When did that moment come in your life? You said, I got to do
2009. 2009, we were just on a fucking really, really bad tour. It just sucked. 2 tours back to back. One with fucking Propane, and one with Abacab, and listen, I met some great people during that tour, but fucking Thick as Blood, my boy Gino, I love Gino, man. He was, Thick as Blood is awesome, but it was a Thick as Blood, Sworn Enemy, and Abacab, and Gino's fucking killing it. He's on Mayans, he was on Blood fucking Line, he was on fucking The Deuce. He's an actor, fucking doing awesome. I'm proud of him. But he's a hardcore kid too, in this game that we're in now with the acting out here. He's crushing it. But it was awful. The shows were garbage, bro. It was whack. It was fucking. I got nothing nice to say. The shows were just awful.
What towns were you going through? Do you remember that time? Like, what towns were you going through on that tour?
There was a lot of B markets. A lot of B markets, but it was also just the time. I just think that Sworn Enemy was just, the fans were all grown up and gone. and we weren't gaining any new ones.
True. I never thought about that. It's a good way to take it, man, because the hardcore scene, like somebody like me that followed it for a couple of years, 5, 6 years, then I had a kid, I wasn't going out on CB's. Well, CB's wasn't there anymore, but I wasn't going out to the wetlands or Roseland to see shows like I would. I would listen to the music by myself, headphones, because now you have kids, and I'm like, do I play music? What music do the kids want to hear? And honestly, they love the fucking hardcore shit. They love it. I have my kids rocking and rolling to, one of my favorite bands of all time is Ignite. I mean, I loved every time I got a chance to see them come in. I was like, that
just
band
saw
is
them
special.
Recently.
That's a special band. And I even followed, what's his name? And I'm bad with names. He has another band out now, something Ocean Hill, or
Jolie?
Yeah.
Jolie, the singer? I don't know.
Yeah, but whatever. It isn't what it is. But that's the band I liked as a kid. But I didn't go out supporting no more. And I understand what you mean. Like, at a certain time, they grow out of going out to see the shows. It's not your Elton John or Billy Joel or stuff like that. You could take your wife out to, My wife loved it, but I took her to Lemore's to see Biohazard back when I don't know, with the second older one. And it's funny because she's like, what the hell is there? I got drunk, and she was like, I like this place. When are they coming on? I was like, Biohazard comes on 3. She's like, 3 in the morning? I was like, all right, we'll go. We walked it through, and it was like a death metal when you first came in the first stage. And she's like, what the fuck?
I missed Lemore's, man. Lemore's was the shit.
That place was fun.
So you say to yourself, it's over, right? It's over. I can't do this no more. But what is the next step? Like, how do you get transition to, like, life without music, man?
I mean, I still stayed in it. I was, I went from, where was it? I went from leaving Sworn Enemy in 2009 to opening up a recording studio with my ex-girlfriend in Austria, and we started recording hardcore bands in Austria. So, and then I was bouncing back and forth from New York to Austria and Salzburg.
And it's huge over there, right? I mean, hardcore music.
I mean,
is big.
in that city, it wasn't as big as like metal is, but Europe is fucking like
It's a different level, right?
Yeah.
It's a different, like, Hatebreed is fucking huge. Sick of It All is huge. Madball is huge. Terror is huge. Like, bands, they make money out there.
You know what's funny about that, guys? I watched a Ramones show, a story about how they would go over to London and sell out Wembley Stadium, but come back and barely, people barely see him at CBGB's, a couple hundred people. So it was unreal. Like, that's how the Clash got started. And by watching them guys play in front of them huge. So definitely over there, I can understand why you guys toured more in Europe, I'm sure, right? So you set up.
Well, there was more of a demand. We had a demand for it, so it was good. And there was always, people, we started growing. We became a newer band in Europe like 5 years later from what we were already doing in the States. So, and we just played the big festivals. The big festivals are more, they're more open to have, say Sworn Enemy and Lamb of God and Slayer and Madball and Agnostic Front and Dropkick Murphys all on one show. Yeah. You know what I mean? And a fucking, Smashing Pumpkins headlines. You know what I mean? Like that's the difference. Like, I'm just giving you an idea of a lineup, but that's like what, kind of, it's more diverse. It's more, like it's you have a more of a chance to play in front of a newer audience, and then you can pull one out of the 15. You know what I mean? That may like you guys, like, oh shit, I do like them, and then you just gain fans like that. Out of playing in front of all these festivals, 10,000, 30,000.
That's brutal. That's a grind, man. That's got to be grinding on you, right? Right now, see, it's grind on. It's grind on. You're thinking about it. Yeah. Knock on wood.
Fucking long road, man. A lot of fucking boozing, a lot of fucking drunken, stupid shit. You know what I mean? Just get up on stage, play, drink.
You've been to touch up on that. You've been sober for a couple
almost
years
7
now.
years.
Wow, congratulations.
And I mean, listen, man. Me knowing you from some of the times that we had, I mean, that's huge, man. That's I mean, we used to laugh, and booze was one of the big things we talked about, and that was always a word that got thrown around.
That's good. Congratulations, man.
And booze was a fun fucking, a lot of booze. You know what I mean? Those were the days, man. Fuck, but it was. At the end of the day, what do we got? We got we only got time, you know, and in that time you gotta fucking do what you can and learn and become better and become educated on those mistakes. And if booze was not good for you, then fuck, then you need to just move on, you know, and learn from those mistakes. And you already did that, and now you're moving on, and you got something new going on, because you know it's not easy to transfer from not drinking to becoming a guy that doesn't. I mean, from a guy who drinks to a guy who doesn't drink anymore, it's not an easy transition.
Right.
It's fucking brutal, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone out there watching this that's having trouble, you know, I mean, you know, take this right here as a pure example of somebody that stopped doing something that had him consumed for so long. And I mean, this guy's killing it right now. He's killing it right now. And I like I told you before off camera, I'm so proud of you with everything you've been doing, you know, and you really are killing it. So I mean, so what was the first acting job that you fell into? Like what you know, how did that all occur after the music was done?
Man, I would say, you know, well, it went a couple of ways. You know, I was wrestling out here. I came out here to wrestle. Long story short, and I, you know, my roommate at the time was a wrestling partner of mine as a roommate, and he was an actor as well. And he was like, bro, this was 2013. He was like, bro, he's like, you need to go get your headshots. You need to go get your headshots. I'm like, what the fuck are headshots? He's like, bro, you can be an actor, bro. You should be an actor. And I was like, I don't fucking know what you're talking about, bro. I was like, I don't know nothing. I was like, I know how to play guitar, drink beers, and now I'm wrestling. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like that was my mentality. You know, I was a fucking, you know, I was a momo.
Did you still have the long hair at that point?
That time, yeah.
Yeah, but wrestling's kind of like acting a little bit, right?
Yeah. But I started to, but that's why, because I was my character that we developed had the characteristics. I can't even speak right now.
Nah, it's all good. I got
characteristics that, you know, gave you the elements of like, wow, he's funny. You know what I mean? Like, okay, like, and people were like, yo, you're fucking funny. You know, you're funny at that promo, or you're funny with what you got going on. And started to lean into like, yo, you should be an actor kind of thing. And I always wanted to do it. I just didn't know how to do it.
That's the
I had no clue, and I wasn't trying to find out how. It just didn't click, which sucks. But you know, timing is everything, and everything happens for a reason. So he told me this, and then I went and started to, you know, get my headshots, and I figured it out, like what you do, and what, you know, like I had no concept of what to do, no manager, no nothing. I had no fucking dude. It was 2003. I was already 35, 36 years old. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, how am I starting all over again? It was brutal.
Scary, man. Definitely.
But then I got I was in a funk about it. I did a couple of like auditions, and I booked these small little fun little things like Auction Hunters or Tattoo Nightmares. And I mean, they're not real acting gigs, but they're fun to learn. You know, that you booked, and now you got a call time. You get an email. You're like, yo, I'm fucking acting. Holy shit. You know, like, oh, I'm getting $200 for this. What the fuck? You know, that was cool, and I did that for 2-3 months, and it was like, you know, it was a couple of them, you know, that are somewhere in the ether. I don't know where they are, but you could see them somewhere. And in the meantime, I became friends with Weston Cage, is Nicolas Cage's son, and he was doing a movie, and he was like, hold on one second. Is my manager? You guys gotta
hold. Okay, so at the moment,
I'm on an interview right now.
Yeah, it's good. There you go.
But I want to. This is the legend right here. This is Melissa Prophet. Say hello to everybody.
Hey, hi Melissa.
Hello.
How are you?
The legend. There we go.
The legend.
He's the best. I love you. I'll call you back.
Give a kiss for me.
They're in Rockaway Beach right now. Right?
The home of the Ramones.
Come on out.
The song from Rockaway Beach for the Ramones.
Oh, look at this picture. You ready?
Yeah, I see.
You see this? That's so Melissa Prophet. She's Joe Pesci's manager.
Oh,
awesome.
Wow. She manages me, but she's a fucking legend.
She wants you to be up tomorrow for a shooting. Oh, that's cool, man.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's awesome.
You gotta blur that. I haven't posted yet.
Now, what's
You
your
gotta blur it.
what's your connection with Sly? I noticed you do have a couple of pictures here and there with him, and
I've been fortunate enough to one of my closest and best friends is Nicky C, his partner, and I've been to his house a few times with them. At least now 5 times, I think, or 4 or 5 times. And, yeah,
he's a cool guy, right?
He's a
One of a
gem.
kind.
He's
One of a kind.
he's the legend of all legends, and he treats you like he knows you. Like he known you his whole life. That's what the fuck I feel when I'm there, and it's cool. It's cool, but yeah, blur that thing, please, because is it live?
It's live, so but if I don't know how quick somebody would have got that quick, so maybe when I rerun it, I don't know how we could do that, but maybe we'll be the first person that you show it. Whatever, 2 seconds. What it is.
No, because I didn't post that yet. That's a special post, but whatever. It's all right.
See if we can.
We're special people, man. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get your. It seems like your whole life you've been hustling, man. You trying to make it, hustling. You got that hustle in you, man, built and bred. So that's nice to see if start to work out. And for a long time, it probably was a tough situation to restart. You said 35 years old. Who the fuck wants to restart?
Brutal. It was fucking awful.
I'm sure scary as heck too, man. Right? You're in a city, and you know how expensive it is to live there. But the Queens stuff kicks in, and the hustle, Survivor, just kicks in. I'm sure, right? At one point.
Oh, it's all hustle here, man. That shit is that the hustle kicks in hard and full gear, and then everybody gravitates towards New Yorkers, and then there's a lot of New Yorkers here. There's a lot more than you think, and then we all hang out with each other, and it's just you're in the neighborhood like you're back home. You know what I mean?
You're on. I'm sorry. You're on Ballers. You're on a couple of shows, Paradise,
Game of Thrones.
City. Game of Thrones, which I binge watched over quarantine because everybody was talking about it, and I was like one of the only guys that hasn't seen it yet. So
the best show ever.
Yeah, so I binge watched that. You've been doing a lot of stuff. You keep me busy. I see the new movie that I don't know how it's going to be released. Oh, not movie. I'm sorry, TV show. Definitely controversial.
Right now, it's a controversial series that is either a movie or a series. We put it out in the ether, and we have something to release, or we're going to just actually go shoot a whole series, and that's where we're at right now. We're kind of in a great position, which is awesome. But yeah, Cracka is.
Can you explain what the movie is based upon and what's about? I looked it up myself. I guess it's kind of like an alternate type universe or something.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
So
it's a white supremacist, present day white supremacist that gets thrust back into an alternate universe. All the blacks rule. Okay. White people are slaves.
Oh, so it's the opposite of what it was.
The flip.
Wow.
It's the flip, and it's fucking genius, and the response has been pretty fucking wild.
And this movie, you're a lead actor in. Not the movie. I can't say movie, but the show.
This film,
this movie, piece,
this trailer,
whatever it is. But you're actually the leading actor in it, right? So that's something.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting, I'm sure, right? Big turn, 360 and 180 in your life, whatever you say. 360, come back up. 180.
But we shot that almost 3 years ago, man. Tree,
right?
Tree.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Now we shot it almost 3 years ago in upstate New York, and we went through a lot with it. It was definitely a beautiful piece. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people, from everybody you could think of that we look up to, that have been fucking crushing the game for the last 15, 20 years, they loved it, and it felt great that they loved it, but nobody ever made a move. So, I'm talking about, from hip hop or from the big actors and studio execs, or big producers or big writers, they all loved it, but just nobody. It's a complicated fucking business, complicated topic. It's a very controversial topic, so people like to tread water lightly, and it never went to where we wanted it to go, and we were just always like, what the fuck. Yeah, this guy's here, this guy's there, this guy loves it, that guy loves it, this agency loves it, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. We heard it all a million times. And you know what? In the midst, the director was, and the writer, creator is Dale Restaghini. I was like, yo, what the fuck, man? We were just talking and trying to, what are we gonna do with it, and just kind of spitballing how to release it, do something with the actual footage that we shot. Do we do a short? Do we submit it to the short film festivals? Do so many different things. The pandemic happens, and we're like, yo, we got to put out the fucking trailer. Let's go.
And that
we start gearing up to put out the trailer, and then George Floyd happens, and we're just like, we're already in the 2 weeks out from launching it, and we were like, this is insane.
Wow. What was the feedback from the trailer? We got good feedback from the trailer, or was it people getting nasty? No feedback.
I did read an article the other day that the director or producer was getting death threats, and it's gotten to the point of
We got like 35 death threats. We got I got some death threats in my DMs. I got some death threats on some comments like you're gonna pay, you're gonna die for stupid shit like that. The actual the feedback, the reaction has been fantastic. It's gotten fucking all the biggest news publications picked it up, and we have been lucky enough to get probably between all the all the social media platforms and the websites that picked it up. Worldstar alone got like 300,000 views on just their website that they put like 9,000 comments. YouTube alone 1.1 million on just the one YouTube channel with 19,000 comments. I mean, people got 15 million fucking views and they only got 3,000 or 4,000 comments. You know what I mean? So it's like you could tell that there was a lot to talk about, good and bad. And the white people that are the ones that are hating are probably the racists. So obviously a lot of the people that were threatened there were white supremacists, and the people that were offended are probably the ones that are bad to black people. So sure. They don't want to see it on the shoe on the other foot. Mm-hmm. And that's just the facts. If you got a fucking feeling and you don't like it, and you're not you think it's bad, but you can watch another slave movie of black people, then you're just fucking wrong. I mean, just see it from their perspective. Right. Stop.
Right.
So that's the whole point of it. And, it rattled a lot of fucking cages. And we don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of got into it with somebody about it yesterday where I saw somebody write something about, it's just that you guys did it after the George Floyd thing. I said, how can somebody put together a movie or a TV series that quick since it happened?
Ignorance.
It's just pure ignorance, and I said this has been done in the works for a while now. It's just the timing was, the timing is what it is. Yeah. So I mean, and I know I'm looking forward to seeing it and seeing where it goes.
I try to find it because I didn't know. I was like, let me just go, and then I clicked the website and it goes sign up for a membership. I'm like, sign up for a membership. Come on, man. You know what I mean? I just want to see. I didn't know it was out or not, so I was like, let me check it out, man.
You can see the trailer on the website.
Yeah. But I don't judge anybody to it's a movie, man. I know that movies definitely shake people's bones sometimes. There was controversial movies with Jesus like 10, 20 years ago. I mean, but come on, it's America. It should be opened up to a free speech. I mean, free anything.
It's a very real subject right now. But if you don't want
to watch it, just don't watch it.
Right.
Don't comment on a guy's work. I mean, how much effort did you put into that kind of acting? What was that like, taking that part you took? Because that must be tough. You're not being that way, to turn and act that way. And then the flip side of it, of being treated that way. I mean, the role itself.
Yeah, it was an interesting role. It's an interesting arc because, one, you are a very hateful person, and I'm not. And that was very challenging, but at the end of the day, I had to pull from somewhere. I'm Puerto Rican Italian, from pretty much 107th Street Jamaica Avenue. So I mean, the proof is on the pudding. Exactly. With the Guinea Ricans, and the white supremacist aspect before he's thrust back in time was very polarizing and just very hateful. So it was just pulling from that kind of like where you would watch if I went to go kind of study Edward Norton's character in American History X, or Ryan Gosling in The Believer, or just a lot of those guys, Ron Pastamba, Russell Crowe, a lot of those guys played some evil white supremacists, and I just I've seen that they can do it, and I was like, all right, that's one way to pull from. And then I just started to study the clothes, and Dale did a really good job pulling that out of me as well, and it was more selling a lot of stuff with my eyes, because it wasn't too much dialogue in that world, not as much as you'd think. But everything in the present day was all the white supremacist stuff, and now you're thrust back in time, and you're confused of what the fuck's happening. Now you're a slave.
Yeah.
So that's the whole flip to it, and that was a challenging part too, because it was every day was 20 degrees, and I was fucking half naked, or fucking just in a shirt, like it was supposed to be fucking 70 degrees. It was 20, and it wasn't. It was brutal. It was brutal. So a lot of those emotions were, just really natural, of just like how fucking shitty it sucks to be in the fucking cold and being sold off in an auction and being chained and being fucking dragged with a noose, or having a noose around you and being walked around like you're a dog. It was brutal.
And it hits like real life, I'm sure, at that moment, regardless. Like, you
Yeah.
really think about it, you're like, role or no role that you're in, you're like, what the, wow, this is a reality check. Because a lot of people don't really know what it was like to go through whatever you are, through history of being treated that way, man. We're lucky. Like, now that hopefully we could change, not go back to anything like that in any society.
Yeah.
Forget about it. You know what I mean? That should never happen to. And I'm sure somewhere in the world it's going on today, somewhere. Something is going on to where it's like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, I mean, put the effort and time into a scene like that, man, a character. Did you have to like turn on and off when you left that movie set, or the movie was done, or the film, that you had to like escape that, like that switch?
I mean, I wasn't method acting, so
Okay.
at times I was like, like right before we'd shoot, I'd be method acting in theory, but I was, I would turn it off. I mean, I would go back to being me, and then just turn it on. Just being the evil son of a bitch. Just being a fucking scumbag. It's there's different ways that I was pulling from it, but it was just I wanted to be able to pull out a performance that was gonna either obviously relay the message that we wanted to say, and put me the fuck over. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know if I've been posting the trailer like crazy. I've been promoting whatever I can with you with it, and I personally I'm captivated by it. I can't wait to see it. The trailer is extremely powerful. It does give you an insight on how the movie's going to go down and what the movie's about. And you've come so far as an actor since I saw you start, and it hasn't, I mean, it's been a couple of years now,
Yeah.
And this role right here, I think this is really a role that's going to put you over the top, man. I mean,
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, such
Appreciate it, bro.
such timing for this to come out, and I think it's this is like really something that is your time here, and I'm looking forward to it myself.
I appreciate that. Thanks for noticing. It's been a long journey to get here, and it's been a long journey of making Cracka, and a long journey of trying to sell it, and a long journey of developing it, it's been a long journey for everyone on the team. And I think that we have something special, more of and if it became the biggest show in the world, fuck yeah, well deserved. Because you know what? That's because we're saying that we're delivering the right message.
Now, do you know what platform you guys are looking to put it on? Like, is it going to be on a Netflix thing? Is it going to? Do you guys know anything about that yet?
Well, no, nothing that can be discussed yet. But
okay.
Pretty much, a platform is involved on trying to make this thing happen right now.
Okay, and
it's definitely in the works, but nothing that I can discuss that people would I wouldn't be able to discuss it right now.
Yeah, I became like a bingeaholic, man, during that quarantine. If it would have got released then, man, I would definitely. Because I go to the point where I'm looking for something to watch, man. You know what I mean? I get into these series. The other day, I watched something called Dark on Netflix.
Dark is the shit.
Yo, but it's
That's
German.
my fucking show.
It's like
yeah,
German.
I love it.
But are the words in sync or not? It's like I'm almost watching a Chinese type flick with.
I would just watch it in German and read the subtitle. That's the best way.
Man,
because you get the best. You get the best performance out of the actors. That's the best acting I've seen in fucking. Those are kids that are so hungry. You could tell that they want to break
See,
into.
you notice that now, but right, like you notice that you're in the Hollywood scene and you can see talent where you kind of develop it now.
That fucking Dark. Go watch Dark. That's
Yeah, excellent. Yeah,
match.
I mean, I was a
3
little bit.
seasons.
I'm up to season 2 now, so I get into everything real quick. So I would love to get into this film of you, and especially now meeting you and stuff like that, you become more of anybody comes on the show. I become more of a fan of theirs, and hoping that you could reach to where awards are handed out for you, man. I'd be proud. Like, hey, this guy came on this.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you put that kind of effort? That effort was put into something like this? Are you satisfied with your effort, or
I think that we all put in our heart and souls into this project, and it's a lot of up and down battles to get it going right now. It's not even it's a lot of mixed emotions, to be fucking honest. It's brutal because nothing good comes easy, and it's even though it's got a lot of hype and it's been like the perfect timing and the perfect message for the people that are like not ignorant but are blind. They're blind ignorance, I guess you can call it. But at the end of the day, it's like we all wanted to put something. We all dreamed of, awards, nominations, and we all dream of that. I mean, you're not in this, not dreaming that. I mean, it's just like you all, you want to put your best work into this because I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you want to try to achieve that? So I think if this show becomes that show, like the magnitude of Game of Thrones, which it has the potential to, because there's so many worlds you can go to and so many different places that we dream of and envision of to make this the biggest show.
Oh, I got you. It clicked. I got you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this world can be very, very big, and hopefully, it does get the nominations it deserves, for mainly the people that work very hard on it. And yeah, I think it's very, very needed because it's, even if it's the best and biggest show in the world, fucking that's awesome. I just want the best and biggest message to come across the right way and, kind of help shift the minds of the ignorant, like the ignorant youth is it's hard to change their daddy and their pappies, but you could fucking change them because they're still kids. They don't know what the fuck right or wrong is yet. They can they still have a heart, so their heart's not cold. But that's the hope and goal. I don't know if we're gonna, we're gonna get that level of I guess achievement. We're gonna achieve everything that we would love to because it's an important message that a lot of people want to turn their face away on, but a lot of people love it, and if you have a target audience for what Cracka is, the target audience, there's a big fucking audience for Cracka.
I love it. What I got out of it is that there could be other possible alternate worlds that this could take place in. I didn't know that. I thought it was like what, boom, like almost like you just got flashed back. I don't know how you got to that timeline or whatever universe or alternate, but it can stretch out into many different parts of history, right? I'm just trying to say that. Okay, wow, that is interesting. So it's not like just that one course of life or whatever that time. It could be a lot of other things, man.
It could be whatever it is, I mean, that's on the.
I like that.
That's on, like at the end of the day, we hope to have like 60 hours of television for it to be able to, express all that. And then we can go into all kinds of different worlds, but we're just happy to be here.
And I'll tell you what, every year, I mean, we were talking about awards before, but every year the awards, shows come up and, every year there's a movie that nobody's ever heard of that pops up out of nowhere and it's it winds up sweeping, we're going home with, 4 or 5 awards or whatever it is, and
Parasite.
Right. And
Parasite took the whole fucking world down.
Crazy.
Yeah, right.
They even took a fucking best picture and best foreign. They crushed everybody. Good for them.
And it makes you wonder though, who are the eyes that are watching that are making that go down? That all these big blockbusters that are in the movie theaters, they're the ones that are getting all the, the views and this and that, and they're the ones that the focus is on, and then something like that comes in and sneaks in. So I hope that's your diamond in the rough, to be honest. I also wanted to ask you about Paradise City, which I know you were a part of Paradise City. That's on what, Netflix?
No, we haven't sold that yet. That is being in the process of being sold right now, and we completed 8 episodes. Ash is the creator of that. I'm a writer on it. I'm an executive producer, and I play character Paulie, based on my brother Paulie, late Paulie Antoniani. So pretty much it's a music show. Entourage meets Nashville Empire with a sprinkle of Riverdale. It's a music show with Bella Thorne, very 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 recognizable faces from Disney, from the Disney shows, Disney World. You know what I mean? Like Cameron Boyce, who passed away. Like he was a So we got Andrea Di Matteo from the Sopranos, Perry Reeves from Entourage. Ryan Hurst and Mark Boone Jr. from Sons of Anarchy. Like, we got a good cast. It's fucking awesome. Good people. Natalie Eva Marie from the WWE, the Diva, WWE Divas. Oh, she was on a Diva show. Yeah, so WWE. She was a WWE fuck my fucking stuttering prick. Yeah, fucking stuttering prick.
But what was it like working? Because I got to see Cameron and watching Disney Channel with my kids, watching him on all these. So he was recognizable face in my home, having 3 kids, right? What was it like working with him, the late Cameron Boyce? I mean, such tragic.
He was a fantastic human. I mean, the kid. I mean, he was
danced his ass off and everything, man.
He was like a little Michael Jackson, man. He was like a little Michael Jackson, man. He had like this energy of just love wherever he walked in through. Was just like, never complained, never, was never acting childish, even though he was 19 at the time. He was like a grown man.
Professional, right?
Very professional, very, very, very talented, very, very on time. There was nothing but, magical beauty that came out of that kid, and his performances. And
then it comes that Billy Joel song, you know what I'm saying? It's the young die, only good die young. That's what it is, man. Because I know such a talented kid. When I heard that, I was
he just
like, wow.
came up with it. It was just a year ago, so he's been dead a year.
I saw something you posted on social media, a picture of him, and that's something I looked it up.
I play his boy on the show, and I play opposite of him on a couple of episodes. But it's like mainly, the journey was to continue our friendship and us becoming, close. But it, it is what it is. We lost him.
That's tough.
Shout out to Cameron Boyce Foundation. His mom and dad. I feel for them. His sister. His best friends on our show too, Boo Boo Stewart. He's another. He was on a few Disney shows with them, and that's how they know each other. And yeah, it's an interesting cast, interesting show, interesting.
And this is a spin-off of another show, right? What is the name of the show?
Oh, American Satan. It's just a band. The band of Relentless is pretty much, and a manager of the band, a label owner of the band is the label owner of Acadian Records is in American Satan, and that just continues on into Paradise City. But
he's telling me
it's.
I'm sorry. He told me that the feed's coming in wrong on Facebook. I don't know how. Why is it on 360 degrees? What a boo-boo. I don't know.
But is this recorded too?
Yeah, it records. So I can put it back up. That's no problem. Yeah, you know what, Brian? That's true. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I can fix that anyway. So, yeah, but that's something that with Paradise City, something you did. Anything new that you have coming out that you're working on now, or it's just total shutdown in Hollywood, like with work?
Well, I'm shooting a pilot called Scarlet in September-ish. I'm playing Stephen Bauer's son, who Stephen Bauer is Manolo from Scarface, legend, and Ray Donovan. Yeah, so I play his son on that, and that's based off a bestseller. We're shooting a pilot for that, very similar to us shooting how we did Cracka, how we did, like just independently, which is, it's a real, it's based off of 2 bestseller books. So that's one. And then just got casted in another movie yesterday that I'm not sure if I can mention anything, so I don't want to mention it. But
don't do that. You don't have to do that.
Yeah,
but that's all
I met
good.
with the director yesterday in the morning, and we clicked, we bonded, and he loved me for the role. So that's another one, and another one in New Jersey that we're doing. What is this? Cancels. What is this? All these things are popping up.
Yeah, you know what happened was, I think I put somehow the camera feed is in 360. I don't know why. So it's spinning on the Facebook Live, but I'm recording it anyway. So whatever you have here, I'll just re-put it out, and that's fine. Understandable. No big deal. I mean, I know Barry's writing, oh, it's upside. It's no problem. You'll get it again. I'll put it back out. And once I'm done with this, I can just put it right back out. But we almost gone an hour already. So you know what? We'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
But I really do appreciate you taking the time, man, and
No,
coming
thank you,
on the
Brad.
show with me. And I know that I look forward to, hopefully when this show is released, that Cracka, I can honestly have you back on and we can recap the series, and I can really take a look at it like that.
Absolutely, man.
That's awesome, man. I do appreciate it. Brian wants to say goodnight. And then everybody out there that's watching it, I will put it back up. If you can hear this now, I don't know if you can hear it, but I'll put it back up. That's not a problem.
All right, Zoe. Thank you very much, man. I
Thank
really
you, Brian.
appreciate everything, man.
Thank you, guys.
Man, it's so great seeing you, man. I'm proud of you.
Great to see you,
You're
brother.
killing it right now. And
Thank you, guys.
I wish you nothing but the best. We'll talk again soon. And
Yeah.
That's about it, brother. I wish you nothing but the best with this.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Send my love to everybody, and you guys, stay safe in that fucking heat. And put the air conditioner on. Wash your hands. Wash your ass. Don't forget. You know what I mean? Don't forget where you come from.
That's right. That's right.
Rockaway Beach. Go shout out to the Ramones.
You make sure you reach out when you come out to New York, man, and you come out and spend the day, man. We'll barbecue and stuff, all right?
It's been a long time since I've been on Rockaway. So,
yeah, we'll get everybody together, man. Dave, we'll get them all out here, man. Well, you guys are more than welcome. Yeah, man, let's do it.
Do it.
All right, cool.
All right, guys.
So,
thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Peace, guys.
Have a good night, brother.
Thanks for listening to Buck the System. Next time, Buck Gritano will do it all again, and we hope you'll join us for the ride. In the meantime, you can reach out to us at buckthesystempodcast@gmail.com with questions, comments, suggestions. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address again is buckthesystempodcast@gmail.com. We'll see you next time on Buck the System.